most women work comfortable air-conditioned office jobs, whereas there's a much higher proportion of men who are involved in these certain fields where they're literally working. It's either dangerous or it's dirty or in some way.
Well, yeah.
So, but the gender wage gap that feminists like to purport doesn't factor in all these variables that actually, when you start to control for all the variables, the wage gap shrinks to 1 cent. Women earn 99 cents to every dollar a man makes. Oh, there's other factors too, like men are more likely to negotiate pay, men go into different fields, this sort of thing. But the big one that I always like to point to, well, hold on, let me just divert really quick. Who here thinks men should pay on first dates? Raise your hands. Should men pay on first dates? Ellie?
I think it depends
Into the mic.
I think it depends on who asks who on the date.
Yeah.
Have you ever asked a guy out on a date?
No, I haven't.
Have you been asked out on a date?
Yes.
Would there be an expectation if you did accept
If I did accept,
that
then
he should pay?
I would probably expect that it would be compensated, yes.
Compensated?
Yes,
for the-
comped.
Comped. I like that term.
Okay. What about you?
I agree. If I'm asking, I should pay. If they're asking, they should pay, because they're the ones that
How
want
many
to do
first
it.
dates have you been on?
A good amount, like maybe.
What proportion do you ask? And what
Well, I
proportion
date
do they
women as
ask?
well, so I ask a lot because if.
Yeah, just talking about men.
Like probably like, I don't know, like 30% of the time I'm asking.
Okay.
Maybe.
What about you? Should men pay for the first date?
I don't think so. I don't want to be pressured, and also I just want to be equal.
How many first dates have you been on?
A few.
Did you always go 50-50?
No.
The guy paid?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
But I changed my mind because, like, I'm a better person now.
Okay, but all the first dates you've been on, the guy paid for the date.
Mostly, yeah.
And you used to believe previously that the guy should pay for the date.
Yeah.
But that's changed. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
I do believe they should pay for the first date.
And do you ask guys out for first dates?
No,
Have you ever asked a guy on a first date?
no,
How many first dates have you been on?
quite a few.
Yeah,
Like
ballpark.
more than,
20, 30, 40, 50?
I would say more than like 20.
More
Maybe
than
like
20.
25.
25. And not one of them you asked them out on?
No.
And the guy paid for all of them?
Yes.
Okay. In your current relationship, on subsequent dates, does he also pay for all other dates too?
Yeah.
Okay. And other guys you've dated in the past, beyond the first date, they also pay for subsequent dates also?
Yes.
Generally? Okay. Luna, how many first dates have you been on?
Quite a few.
Quite a few. What's that mean? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50?
Like in like between like 10 to 15.
10 to 15. And will you go out to dinner? You'll grab pizza? What do you do typically?
It honestly depends on the type of person I am going out with. Like, for example, the guy that wanted more traditional stuff, he always took me out to like really fancy restaurants, where like the minimum of the check was like about $300. And as great as that is, to be treated with such like, I would say like bouginess, I would also rather had appreciated something a little more simpler. Because I feel like when men take you out on really nice dates, they kind of hold this like upper hand on you, is that they're spending all this money on you and taking you out to this really nice place, so you kind of have to like owe them something. Not necessarily all the time, but that is what majority of men think. A lot of my first dates, I like especially for a first date, I like to keep it more mellow. Like I've been to like gone to In-N-Out or like Chick-fil-A, like something really easy in which that we would go like 50-50 or just pay whatever we had.
Okay. So have you ever asked a guy out?
Yes.
Okay, but mostly they ask you out.
Yes.
And they pay.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless
and
I
you you have a
I
preference?
sometimes offer.
And you have a preference for them to pay?
Not necessarily. I do. That's why I said I like to offer majority of the time. Like, if it's not too big and fancy, I like to offer and I like to keep it even, just in case, like, what if that first date is also our last date? Like, I'd rather them, have like kind of a fair ground between that relationship and not have it where they paid for a really big expensive date and they got really nothing out of it, and then they get mad at you or upset that like you kind of use them for their money or whatever.
Sure. Okay. What about you? Should men pay for first dates?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. How many first dates have you been on?
Probably over 40.
40?
Yeah.
Did you ask out any of the guys for any of those dates?
No.
They always asked you out?
Yeah.
Okay. Did they, and overwhelmingly they paid for the first date?
Yeah.
If you went out with a guy and he asked for 2 checks, would there be a second date?
No.
Okay. So you want guys to pay for first dates?
Yep.
Yep. What about you?
No, not at all. I don't think they should.
You don't think men should pay for first dates?
No.
Okay. Have you ever been on a first date?
Yes.
How many first dates have you been on?
About 5 or 6.
Okay. And did the guy pay for those? Or was it
Yes.
always all the guys paid for them?
I've paid for, I think, 2, and then the
Back.
rest were paid for fully.
Okay. All right. So tying this back in to and relaying this to the wage gap. I think the wage gap could actually be explained away by women's own sexist dating preferences. How could it, well, you're shaking your head, but how could it not be the case if there's a greater pressure? Like I listed a whole bunch of reasons for why this supposed gender earnings gap could exist, but even kind of ignoring all those and just looking at the intergender dynamics between men and women. If women had a stated preference, like a strong preference, and it doesn't have to be all women, but let's say it's even half of women are like, hey, I want a guy who's a provider. I want a guy who can pay for dates. That places a disproportionate one-directional pressure on men that doesn't exist in the reverse, that doesn't exist from men to women. So, and I think we can all agree here that I think both men and women are really motivated when it comes to dating and finding your person, finding a partner, finding a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever it is. I think in some ways men can oftentimes be even more motivated in some ways, but as it relates specifically to this, even assuming that the motivation to find your person is pretty much equal, there is this component of asymmetry when it comes to preferences. I don't believe that there's symmetry in expectations, preferences, standards, etc. So if women have an asymmetrical standard, which is men should pay for first dates, wouldn't this create a pressure on men to earn more money? Like if the man has to be the provider, the man has to pay for first dates, that creates a pressure on men to perform and to achieve and to make money and to try to be rich or whatever that doesn't exist towards women. So the wage gap can, if it even exists, be entirely explained by all of y'all's preferences.
We could also say it's more expensive to be a woman and that like we deserve more money because we have to do A, B, C, and D to make men happy. You know what I mean? Like our hair and our nails and all that stuff.
I think that's a preference.
Wait, so
No, I
hold
know
on.
it's a preference, but I think something
do
I'm
women
saying-
do that shit for themselves, or do they do it for men?
I know, hang on,
Wait,
I'm
do
saying-
women wear makeup for themselves, or do they do it for men? Because you like to pick and choose. Hold on.
No, I'm not
Y'all
picking and
women
choosing.
like to pick and choose when it's convenient now for you to say, oh, we wear makeup for you guys.
No, I'm
but
saying,
then
like-
you guys switch it up.
I'm saying
you'll
in that
switch it up and
way-
say, no, we do that shit for ourselves.
But we do. I'm saying there's men who want their woman to look like that. And I'm saying if they want their
Men
woman,
don't give a fuck about nails.
Not all. I'm saying okay, maybe nails, but they want their woman to keep their. You don't want your woman to get their hair done and keep their looks going and all that stuff. Like
She
it's
can get a haircut. She doesn't need to get the fucking
Well, I'm saying
bullshit
there's
color.
some women who
She doesn't
do.
got to do no bullshit color in it.
Some highlight
She can
color.
just her natural hair color. I'm telling you, whether she has dark hair, light hair, humans have been procreating for thousands of years before the invention of hair dye. Trust me, you can find a partner, you can find a mate, you can find a boyfriend, you can get some dick. Doesn't matter. You can be bald and get some dick.
Yeah, I think if the guy has those
She knows.
expectations, then it's different.
Bro, all that shit, I'm telling you, look, have good grooming, take good care of yourself, have your hygiene good, but all this extra shit, that's you guys. Guys are simple. We don't care about that shit. Really.
That might be you, but a lot of guys do.
No, man.
I know a
no.
lot of guys
debatable.
like
I'm telling
natural
you.
girls. I know that. Yes, natural is a thing, but I mean, I do think that there's people who like that.
There's never been a time where I'm like, oh, damn, she's naturally a brunette, but she's actually a blonde. I didn't want to fuck her, but now I want to fuck her.
Hair is a little different.
Like, that's never been a thought process.
Hair is a little different, but like keeping your nails done and your like
Yeah,
makeup and
the
everything.
fake nails or nail polish, guys don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
Guys don't care. Now, don't have like nasty nails, have good hygiene. But that would apply to men too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think y'all want to date a guy with like nasty fucking nails and shit. But guys don't care about that.
Okay.
But you're getting away from my point a little bit here, which is in order to date, men have to be bringing something financially, at least a little bit. We have to at least be able to pay for the date.